Words to express your feelings. Joyful. Meaning: feeling, expressing, or causing great pleasure and happiness. Example: she was joyful when she received the news of her promotion. She was joyful when she received the news of her promotion. Cheerful. Meaning: noticeably happy and optimistic. Example: his cheerful attitude brightened everyone's day. His cheerful attitude brightened everyone's day. Elated. Meaning: extremely happy and excited. Example: they were elated after winning the championship. They were elated after winning the championship. Content. Meaning: satisfied and at ease, not wanting more. Example: she felt content with her life and achievements. She felt content with her life and achievements. Delighted. Meaning: feeling great pleasure and satisfaction. Example: I was delighted to see my old friend at the reunion. I was delighted to see my old friend at the reunion. Unhappy. Meaning: not happy, feeling sad or discontented. Example: he was unhappy about the outcome of the competition. He was unhappy about the outcome of the competition. Sorrowful. Meaning: feeling or expressing sorrow, very sad. Example: the sorrowful music reflected her mood perfectly. The sorrowful music reflected her mood perfectly. Disappointed. Meaning: sad or displeased because something did not happen as expected. Example: I was disappointed when the concert was cancelled. I was disappointed when the concert was cancelled. Gloomy. Meaning: dark or poorly lit, feeling sad or depressed. Example: the weather was gloomy, matching her mood. The weather was gloomy, matching her mood. Heartbroken. Meaning: suffering from overwhelming distress or grief. Example: she was heartbroken after the breakup. She was heartbroken after the breakup. Furious. Meaning: extremely angry. Example: he was furious when he found out someone had stolen his lunch. He was furious when he found out someone had stolen his lunch. Irritated. Meaning: annoyed or bothered. Example: she felt irritated by the constant interruptions. She felt irritated by the constant interruptions. Annoyed. Meaning: slightly angry, irritated. Example: I was annoyed by the loud noise outside. I was annoyed by the loud noise outside. Frustrated. Meaning: feeling distressed or annoyed due to inability to change or achieve something. Example: he was frustrated with the slow progress on the project. He was frustrated with the slow progress on the project. Enraged. Meaning: very angry, infuriated. Example: the customer was enraged after receiving poor service. The customer was enraged after receiving poor service. Scared. Meaning: feeling frightened or alarmed. Example: She was scared during the horror movie. She was scared during the horror movie. Terrified. Meaning: extremely scared. Example: he was terrified of the dark. He was terrified of the dark. Anxious. Meaning: experiencing worry or unease. Example: she felt anxious before her big presentation. She felt anxious before her big presentation. Apprehensive. Meaning: anxious or fearful that something bad or unpleasant will happen. Example: he was apprehensive about starting a new job. He was apprehensive about starting a new job. Worried. Meaning: anxious or concerned about something. Example: she was worried about her upcoming exams. She was worried about her upcoming exams. Astonished. Meaning: very surprised or amazed. Example: I was astonished by the magician's tricks. I was astonished by the magician's tricks. Amazed. Meaning: greatly surprised or impressed. Example: they were amazed by the beautiful scenery. They were amazed by the beautiful scenery. Shocked. Meaning: causing someone to feel surprised and upset. Example: he was shocked to hear the news of her accident. He was shocked to hear the news of her accident. Stunned. Meaning: so shocked that one is unable to react. Example: she was stunned into silence by the unexpected gift. She was stunned into silence by the unexpected gift. Baffled. Meaning: totally confused or bewildered. Example: he was baffled by the complex math problem. He was baffled by the complex math problem. Adoring. Meaning: feeling or showing deep love and affection. Example: she had an adoring smile as she looked at her child. She had an adoring smile as she looked at her child. Affectionate. Meaning: showing fondness or tenderness. Example: he is very affectionate towards his family. He is very affectionate towards his family. Passionate. Meaning: showing or caused by strong feelings or beliefs. Example: she is passionate about her work in environmental conservation. She is passionate about her work in environmental conservation. Caring. Meaning: displaying kindness and concern for others. Example: he is a caring friend who always listens. He is a caring friend who always listens. Tender. Meaning: showing gentleness and concern or sympathy. Example: the father had a tender moment with his daughter. The father had a tender moment with his daughter. Confused. Meaning: unable to think clearly, bewildered. Example: she felt confused by the complicated instructions. She felt confused by the complicated instructions. Perplexed. Meaning: completely baffled, very puzzled. Example: he was perplexed by the sudden changes in schedule. He was perplexed by the sudden changes in schedule. Bewildered. Meaning: completely puzzled or confused. Example: she was bewildered by the unexpected results. She was bewildered by the unexpected results. Baffled. Meaning: totally confused or bewildered. Example: the scientist was baffled by the experiment's outcome. The scientist was baffled by the experiment's outcome. Puzzled. Meaning: unable to understand, confused. Example: I was puzzled by the riddle. I was puzzled by the riddle. Enthusiastic. Meaning: having or showing intense and eager enjoyment or interest. Example: she was enthusiastic about the upcoming concert. She was enthusiastic about the upcoming concert. Energized. Meaning: filled with energy, excited. Example: the team felt energized after the pep talk. The team felt energized after the pep talk. Eager. Meaning: wanting to do or have something very much. Example: he was eager to start his new job. He was eager to start his new job. Thrilled. Meaning: extremely excited and pleased. Example: she was thrilled to meet her favorite author. She was thrilled to meet her favorite author. Animated. Meaning: full of life or excitement, lively. Example: the discussion was animated and engaging. The discussion was animated and engaging. Disgusted. Meaning: feeling or showing disgust, revolted. Example: he was disgusted by the mess in the kitchen. He was disgusted by the mess in the kitchen. Repulsed. Meaning: feeling intense distaste or disgust. Example: she was repulsed by the idea of eating insects. She was repulsed by the idea of eating insects. Nauseated. Meaning: feeling sick to the stomach, feeling like vomiting. Example: the smell of rotten food made him nauseated. The smell of rotten food made him nauseated. Appalled. Meaning: shocked or dismayed, filled with horror. Example: she was appalled by the news of the disaster. She was appalled by the news of the disaster. Revolted. Meaning: feeling disgusted or repulsed. Example: he was revolted by the cruel treatment of animals. He was revolted by the cruel treatment of animals. Serene. Meaning: calm, peaceful, and untroubled. Example: the lake was serene in the early morning light. The lake was serene in the early morning light. Relaxed. Meaning: free from tension and anxiety, at ease. Example: he felt relaxed after a long day at the beach. He felt relaxed after a long day at the beach. Composed. Meaning: having one's feelings and expression under control, calm. Example: she remained composed during the difficult interview. She remained composed during the difficult interview. Hopeful. Meaning: feeling or inspiring optimism about a future event. Example: he was hopeful that things would improve soon. He was hopeful that things would improve soon. Optimistic. Meaning: hopeful and confident about the future. Example: she is optimistic about the new project. She is optimistic about the new project. Inspired. Meaning: filled with the urge or ability to do something. Example: he felt inspired to start painting again. He felt inspired to start painting again. Overwhelmed. Meaning: feeling buried or drowned beneath a large amount of something. Example: she felt overwhelmed with all the work she had to do. She felt overwhelmed with all the work she had to do. Vulnerable. Meaning: open to emotional or physical harm, susceptible. Example: sharing her story made her feel vulnerable. Sharing her story made her feel vulnerable. Resilient. Meaning: able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. Example: he is resilient and bounces back from setbacks. He is resilient and bounces back from setbacks. Lonely. Meaning: sad because one has no friends or company. Example: she felt lonely living in a new city. She felt lonely living in a new city. Jealous. Meaning: feeling or showing envy of someone or their achievements. Example: he felt jealous when he saw his friend's new car. He felt jealous when he saw his friend's new car. Regretful. Meaning: feeling sad or disappointed about something that has happened or something one has done. Example: she felt regretful about not attending her friend's wedding. She felt regretful about not attending her friend's wedding. Ecstatic. Meaning: extremely happy or joyful. Example: she was ecstatic when she received the news of her promotion. She was ecstatic when she received the news of her promotion. Pleased. Meaning: feeling happy or satisfied. Example: he was pleased with the results of his exam. He was pleased with the results of his exam. Grateful. Meaning: feeling thankful or appreciative. Example: she was grateful for the support from her friends during tough times. She was grateful for the support from her friends during tough times. Thrilled. Meaning: extremely excited or delighted. Example: he was thrilled to meet his favorite author. He was thrilled to meet his favorite author. Satisfied. Meaning: contented, pleased with what has been received or achieved. Example: she felt satisfied after completing the project successfully. She felt satisfied after completing the project successfully. Melancholy. Meaning: a deep, persistent sadness. Example: a sense of melancholy washed over him as he looked at old photographs. A sense of melancholy washed over him as he looked at old photographs. Downcast. Meaning: feeling sad or depressed, looking downward. Example: She felt downcast after hearing the disappointing news. She felt downcast after hearing the disappointing news. Mournful. Meaning: expressing or feeling sadness or grief. Example: the mournful song brought tears to her eyes. The mournful song brought tears to her eyes. Depressed. Meaning: feeling very sad or in low spirits, suffering from clinical depression. Example: he felt depressed after losing his job. He felt depressed after losing his job. Livid. Meaning: extremely angry, furious. Example: she was livid when she found out someone had stolen her lunch. She was livid when she found out someone had stolen her lunch. Indignant. Meaning: feeling anger or annoyance at something perceived as unfair. Example: he was indignant at the unfair treatment he received. He was indignant at the unfair treatment he received. Outraged. Meaning: very angry, especially at something unjust or wrong. Example: the community was outraged by the unfair law. The community was outraged by the unfair law. Wrathful. Meaning: full of intense anger. Example: the wrathful storm caused destruction in the town. The wrathful storm caused destruction in the town. Resentful. Meaning: feeling bitterness or indignation at having been treated unfairly. Example: she was resentful of her colleague's praise when she had worked just as hard. She was resentful of her colleague's praise when she had worked just as hard. Nervous. Meaning: feeling anxious or apprehensive. Example: he felt nervous before giving his speech. He felt nervous before giving his speech. Frightened. Meaning: feeling scared or afraid. Example: the loud noise frightened the little girl. The loud noise frightened the little girl. Alarmed. Meaning: feeling a sudden fear or worry. Example: she was alarmed when she saw smoke coming from the kitchen. She was alarmed when she saw smoke coming from the kitchen. Uneasy. Meaning: feeling anxious or uncomfortable. Example: he felt uneasy about the decision he had to make. He felt uneasy about the decision he had to make. Bewildered. Meaning: confused or puzzled. Example: she looked bewildered when she heard the complicated instructions. She looked bewildered when she heard the complicated instructions. Astounded. Meaning: extremely shocked or surprised. Example: he was astounded by the magician's tricks. He was astounded by the magician's tricks. Taken aback. Meaning: surprised or shocked. Example: she was taken aback by the unexpected compliment. She was taken aback by the unexpected compliment. Flabbergasted. Meaning: extremely surprised or shocked. Example: he was flabbergasted to win the grand prize. He was flabbergasted to win the grand prize. Speechless. Meaning: unable to speak due to shock or surprise. Example: she was speechless when she heard the good news. She was speechless when she heard the good news. Fond. Meaning: having affection or liking for someone or something. Example: he was fond of his childhood memories. He was fond of his childhood memories. Devoted. Meaning: very loving or loyal. Example: she is devoted to her family and spends all her time with them. She is devoted to her family and spends all her time with them. Enamored. Meaning: in love with, filled with a feeling of love. Example: he was enamored with the beautiful artwork in the gallery. He was enamored with the beautiful artwork in the gallery. Cherishing. Meaning: holding dear, valuing highly. Example: she is cherishing every moment spent with her grandmother. She is cherishing every moment spent with her grandmother. Romantic. Meaning: characterized by or conducive to love, idealistic. Example: he planned a romantic dinner by candlelight. He planned a romantic dinner by candlelight. Uncertain. Meaning: not sure or confident, hesitant. Example: she felt uncertain about her choice of career. She felt uncertain about her choice of career. Disoriented. Meaning: confused about where you are or how to get somewhere. Example: after waking up from a nap, he felt disoriented. After waking up from a nap, he felt disoriented. Lost. Meaning: unable to find one's way, confused about direction. Example: she felt lost in the new city without a map. She felt lost in the new city without a map. In a fog. Meaning: confused or unclear in thought. Example: after staying up late, he was in a fog during his morning class. After staying up late, he was in a fog during his morning class. At a loss. Meaning: uncertain about what to do or say, confused. Example: she was at a loss for words after the surprise announcement. She was at a loss for words after the surprise announcement. Aroused. Meaning: awakened or stimulated, excited. Example: the speech aroused a sense of urgency among the audience. The speech aroused a sense of urgency among the audience. Electrified. Meaning: filled with excitement or energy. Example: the crowd was electrified by the band's performance. The crowd was electrified by the band's performance. Buzzing. Meaning: filled with excitement or activity, lively. Example: the room was buzzing with chatter before the event started. The room was buzzing with chatter before the event started. Stoked. Meaning: extremely excited or enthusiastic. Example: he was stoked about his upcoming vacation. He was stoked about his upcoming vacation. Pumped. Meaning: excited or enthusiastic, often about an event or activity. Example: she was pumped for the concert that night. She was pumped for the concert that night. Sickened. Meaning: feeling disgusted or nauseated. Example: he was sickened by the sight of the abandoned animals. He was sickened by the sight of the abandoned animals. Offended. Meaning: feeling hurt or insulted. Example: she felt offended by the rude comment. She felt offended by the rude comment. Horrified. Meaning: shocked and filled with horror. Example: he was horrified to see the aftermath of the accident. He was horrified to see the aftermath of the accident. Loathing. Meaning: intense hatred or disgust. Example: she felt a strong loathing for dishonesty. She felt a strong loathing for dishonesty. Dismayed. Meaning: feeling shocked or disappointed. Example: he was dismayed by the news of the cancellation. He was dismayed by the news of the cancellation. At ease. Meaning: relaxed and comfortable. Example: he felt at ease in the familiar surroundings. He felt at ease in the familiar surroundings. Soothed. Meaning: calmed or comforted. Example: the gentle music soothed her nerves. The gentle music soothed her nerves. Untroubled. Meaning: free from worry or disturbance. Example: she remained untroubled despite the chaos around her. She remained untroubled despite the chaos around her. Contented. Meaning: satisfied and at peace. Example: he felt contented after a day spent with friends. He felt contented after a day spent with friends. Centered. Meaning: calm and balanced, focused. Example: she practiced meditation to feel more centered. She practiced meditation to feel more centered. Resilient. Meaning: able to recover quickly from difficulties, tough. Example: the resilient community rebuilt after the disaster. The resilient community rebuilt after the disaster. Lonely. Meaning: feeling sad because one is alone or isolated. Example: he felt lonely after moving to a new city. He felt lonely after moving to a new city. Nostalgic. Meaning: feeling sentimental or wistful about the past. Example: she felt nostalgic when she looked at old family photos. She felt nostalgic when she looked at old family photos. Peaceful. Meaning: feeling calm and free from disturbance, often used to describe an environment or situation that is quiet and harmonious. Example: after a long day at work, I enjoy taking a peaceful walk in the park to unwind. After a long day at work, I enjoy taking a peaceful walk in the park to unwind. Tranquil. Meaning: feeling a deep sense of calm and serenity, often associated with nature or a quiet environment. Example: after spending the weekend by the tranquil lake, I felt refreshed and at peace with my thoughts. After spending the weekend by the tranquil lake, I felt refreshed and at peace with my thoughts.